Third parties are back in the news this month after Tucker Carlson announced his intention to build an alternative to the Republican Party. This comes after dissatisfaction with the major parties led the centrist group No Labels to attempt to field a presidential ticket in 2024, only for potential candidates to rule out a bid. But the truth is that a third party will likely never be viable in America without significant electoral reform. One such reform that could produce more viable political parties is moving from first-past-the-post elections in specific districts to electing the House of Representatives via party list proportional representation. In the PLPR system, parties publish a list of candidates in advance of the election. Then, voters simply vote for a party, not a candidate, on Election Day. In the United States, this would mean that the percentage of votes a party receives would correspond to a percentage of seats they receive in the House out of the 435 total. Using the popular vote results from the 2024 House of Representatives elections, we can roughly predict how many seats each existing political party would have in the House under the party list proportional representation system. The Republican Party came in first with 49.75% of the vote, which rounds to 216 seats. The Democratic Party came in second with 47.19% of the vote, which rounds to 205 seats. The third largest group is made up of votes for independent candidates and candidates for parties that earned under 0.1% of the national popular vote. Combining all of these votes under the banner of independence equates to 2.27% of the vote, which rounds to 10 seats. The Libertarian Party was the most successful minor party in 2024 with 0.47% of the vote, which rounds to 2 seats. The Green Party and the Constitution Party each got 0.12% of the vote, which would round to 1 seat for each. All of these figures assume voting patterns wouldn't change if voting for third parties became electorally viable, which is a poor assumption to make. Still, these results show that party list proportional representation could bring our politics closer to a middle ground. Since Republicans do not hold enough seats for a majority in this scenario, they would likely be forced to form a European-style coalition with the Libertarians, who would push the government in a socially liberal direction. An alternative would be a Republican alliance with some of the 10 independents, who would likely also push the agenda towards the middle. As I hinted at before, the existing system of parties would most likely change dramatically under a proportional system. So I've decided to see what would happen if the two major parties lost their Big Tent and split into more ideologically coherent smaller parties. There will be 6 parties in this hypothetical: Democratic Socialists, Classic Democrats, Centrist Democrats, MAGA, Classic Republicans, and Centrist Republicans. The scenario will not include independents or the current minor parties, as I suspect many of those voters would migrate to another party given the greater range of options. First, the Democratic Socialist Party. The Congressional Progressive Caucus currently has 95 members from the House, making it a reasonable assumption that this ideologically similar party would have 95 seats. Next, the Centrist Party, made up of centrist Democrats. I estimate that it would have 10 seats, the same number as the amount of representatives in the moderate Blue Dog coalition. That leaves exactly 100 seats remaining for the standard Democratic Party. On the other side of the aisle, let's start with the MAGA Party. This would correlate with the hardline conservative House Freedom Caucus, which has 31 members, aka 31 seats. As for the Third Way Party, made up of centrist Republicans, the comparable Main Street Caucus has 79 members, so 79 seats. That leaves 110 seats for the standard Republican Party. Do these results make sense? Let's reverse engineer the seat counts to get a popular vote percentage for each party. The Democratic Socialist Party would represent 21.8% of the vote, the Democratic Party 23% of the vote, and the Centrist Party 2.3% of the vote. The MAGA Party would represent 7.1% of the vote, the Republican Party 25.3% of the vote, and the Third Way Party 18.2% of the vote. These estimates may not be perfectly accurate, as they project only around 20% of the vote would go to centrist parties when the 2024 electorate was actually 40% moderates. No matter what the true makeup of the House would be now under the party list system, it is clear that the American electorate is ideologically diverse and lacks the options to express it. All those news headlines you see about voters who feel politically homeless or feel that party bosses are quashing exciting new candidates don't have to continue. A system of proportional representation could bring forth ideologically narrower parties that better represent us all.